Today we are at Holton Public Schools with Superintendent Jason Kennedy to find out about some of the security improvements they've made here. Hi, Jason.
Hi, Kristen.
Jason, there are so many facets to school security. Where did you begin?
One of the things that we know about teaching and learning is that kids need to be in a safe environment for them to be motivated to learn. And so we wanted to take a step back and look at our learning environment to make sure that it was as safe as possible for kids. And also in light of a number of the school tragedies that we've seen over the last decade or so, we wanted to make sure that our kids were in a safe environment. And so we partnered with the Muskegon County Sheriff's Department, Captain Poulin, as well as Lieutenant John Gale was a part of a process. We worked with the Department of Homeland Security, as well as our local fire and emergency response units that come out to Holton in the event of an emergency. We came together as an administrative team and staff of both professional and support staff members working with those individuals to really take a look at our procedures and protocols in regards to student safety here at school. And those individuals critiqued our procedures to the point that we have revised procedures and processes to ensure student safety.
Can you tell us about some of the exterior security improvements you've made?
Well, Kristen, we have done a number of things to the exterior of our building. First of all, we have focused on security cameras. We've added some additional security cameras, digital cameras to the outside of the building. We have also focused on numbering each of our classrooms so that responders will know exactly which classrooms students are located within. We've also taken a step to number the roof above each of those classrooms in the same manner so that in the event of a true emergency, the state police helicopter will be able to identify where students are located within the building. One of the other features that we've also added is a secure entry in all of our buildings using an airphone system where visitors to the school district are required to push a button to notify the office that they are there. The office then identifies those individuals and determines whether or not the visitor may enter into the building. Once the individual is in the building, the only access that they have to the building is the office. And so we have really worked to make sure that there's a secure point of entry within all of our buildings so that students and staff are safe.
And Jason, how about if we go inside and check out some of the improvements you've made there?
And another thing, we've also added entry-resistant film to each of the windows on the doors and the entrances to prevent forced entrance into our buildings. An additional security enhancement is that we've replaced each of our analog cameras with digital cameras. This provides us the capability to provide access to emergency responders and the sheriff's deputies as they're responding to an emergency here at our school.
Jason, you've also made some preparations inside of your classroom. Can you tell us about those?
Sure. One of the additional security enhancements that we've made involves a red bucket. We call it our lockdown bucket. And within the bucket are a number of supplies in the event that we would need to go into a lockdown. Unfortunately, it's unknown how long the lockdown may go on for. And so within the bucket, we provide a number of supplies for teachers. Those supplies include everything from wet wipes to granola bars to bottles of water, baggies that have Band-Aids and paper towel and other supplies in them, along with a number of first aid procedures and protocols and security procedures and protocols in the event of an emergency.
Now, Jason, not all of the preparations that you've made have been physical. You also worked with staff and teachers on how to respond in case of an incident.
That's right, Kristen. We've spent a great deal of time working with our staff in training. Every emergency preparedness drill that we conduct is an opportunity for our staff to learn the procedures and protocols to help protect themselves and our students. In addition to those emergency preparedness drills, we also have spent time with the local law enforcement authorities, both our first responders and members of the local police departments, in reviewing our procedures and our practices, and a number of our teachers were involved in that. In addition to that, we've also sent a number of our staff members, administrators, and a handful of teachers to the West Michigan Criminal Justice Training Consortium and a number of events that they have put on, which have really worked towards training staff in how to respond in events when there are crisis situations that happen in schools. Students also have played a major role in these procedures and protocols as well, in that we have taken a significant amount of time in working with our elementary students so that they know what to do in the case of a true emergency, whether it's students that are in the bathroom and a lockdown situation is called. Each of our students know what to do and where to go. We practice many of these drills at recess, at lunch, and at times when students would not be in the classroom. And then when it comes to our high school and middle school students, when we were working with the members of the local law enforcement teams, as students were being released from the drill, the local law enforcement officials spent a great deal of time in working with students to help them understand what to do in the event of a real situation. And so we feel that students have played just a tremendous role in this process as well, and that any student that you were to ask would know exactly what to do in the event of an emergency situation here in Holton Public Schools.
Jason, thank you very much for spending time with us today.
Thank you, Kristen. It was a pleasure having you in the district. And before we go, it would be important to also recognize that the community has played just a huge role in these additions that we've been able to make. The taxpayers and the voters of Muskegon County, we couldn't have done it without you, and certainly a special thank you to each of the taxpayers, the voters within our community for the passage of the Regional Enhancement Technology and Security Millage, because as a result of that, additional dollars are able to flow into our districts to be able to do these types of things to help protect students and our staff.
And now, here's a quick look at what some of the other districts in Muskegon County are doing to prepare for an incident.